Kevin, when I started watching in 2011, so that's what, 13 years ago now, I was 8. I'm watching, and Cena's the top star. Okay. John Cena's the guy who you're building the company around. He's the guy who is main eventing every pay per view. This is the peak of the Super Cena era. We've got a WrestleMania 28 main event announced a year in advance. WWE ruined WrestleMania 27 with The Miz and made that an advertisement for WrestleMania 28 with John Cena. I'm sat there, okay? This is the same guy who now, 13 years later, I'm chilling, right? I'm on my couch. I have my phone, all right? I'm like, what's going on? Is anything happening today? It was a public holiday where I'm at, so wasn't that much to do. I look at my phone and I see John Cena butt ass naked at the Oscars. He's giving out the award for best costume design. He's got a little envelope in front of his PP. He's elsewhere fully naked, Kevin. This is the guy. Without him, WWE would have folded in 2008, 2009 during the Chris Benoit tragedy, during the Lyndon McMahon Senate run. Without him, WWE would have been Mason Ryan versus Randy Orton every week on Monday Night Raw. John Cena now, in 2024, there was stuff involving Barbie. There was one of the movies a part of
Oh
now.
my God.
Now he is butt-ass naked at the Oscars, giving best costume design with the envelope over his junk. Jimmy Kimmel is standing right there looking at him, clearly can see his dick. What is going on, Kevin? Kevin, I don't want to overreact here because at the end of the day, this is just like another little publicity stunt, another Hollywood bit to get some publicity. And I've taken the bait, pal. We're buying in here at Elite Heat. But the fact of the matter is, I've got to ask, Kevin, as WWE is up to their eyeballs, up to their ears in a litany of horrible, disgusting Vince McMahon allegations. Kevin, as we can discuss in Elite Takes throughout the week, the kibosh and the cloche is on the WWE right now. They're holding it in after WrestleMania. Allegations and Vince McMahon drama and lawsuits and lawsuits and more lawsuits are going to be out of control. And John Cena, the biggest star of the last 15 years, is butt-ass naked at the Oscars. Kevin, talk to me.
I mean, you spent 2.5 minutes on that beautifully well thought out, just exponentially executed intro. And I don't really have words. So I saw a notification on my phone, right? And the notification read, John Cena is naked at the Oscars. I don't remember what I think it's from like CNN or something, or Entertainment Tonight. I don't know. It was like a news article. Just for whatever reason, this pops up in my phone. And I literally thought that it was like a "you can't see me" joke. I thought that they were doing like, oh, invisible Cena, pal. Cena's invisible at the Oscars. He's not wearing clothes, pal. And then I click on this to watch the clip, and it's literally John Cena naked, presenting an award. And I'm just looking at this like, okay, all right, I guess this is for the women, pal, right? The women are popping huge, pal. You get to see John Cena's Greek goddess of a Greek god of a body, pal. I just want to say this before we get attacked in the comments. This is not the first time Cena went naked. He did this on Total Bellas or Total Divas with Nikki Bella in support of some sort of thing. I don't know. So I saw that circulate Twitter. People were going crazy, like, "Oh, Cena's done this before, bro."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But that wasn't the Oscars, was it, clowns? This is the friggin' Oscars. We're not talking Total Bellas on a show on the E Network that a very niche little portion of people watch. This is the Oscars. This is mainstream. You do this. This is on your news feed on Entertainment Tonight, CNN, MSNBC, maybe Fox as well. All this sort of thing. Like knowing Fox News, disgraced WWE wrestler John Cena is naked for publicity. Kevin, this and why we do this, because I remember we discussed something not similar because they're very different, but when Hulk Hogan got baptized and we did an extra on that, and it was a bit like, okay, is this really relevant wrestling news? Do we need to do an extra? That one I was like, okay, that we just did that for the sake of content. You discussed this in our little discussion, your extra around the world about Hulk Hogan recently, when you were hearing about Terry Jean Bollea's sex tape with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, and you were learning about that and explaining about that. that wasn't necessary. We didn't need to discuss the baptism. This, though, Kevin, I honestly have to ask you, does this affect John Cena's legacy? The fact that a guy who I idolize, I've looked up to John
Oh my
Cena
God!
for
Stop it!
years.
Stop it!
Kevin,
Stop it! You
Cena
looked
was
up to CM Punk. Everybody knows that. Everybody watching knows that. You're lying to all of our listeners right now, implying that you idolize John Cena. Stop
Kevin
it!
Cena was
Stop
a
it!
guy who
Stop it, pal!
Kevin Cena was a guy who, when I wake up in the morning, when I'm, going to school every morning, I'm putting on my armband, my wristbands, I'm getting my pump on to look as natural as possible, pal. I'm watching John Cena's, I'm watching John Cena in Elimination Chamber 2012, hyping up Big E Langston for his world record bench press, pal. I was there. I was in the trenches. And now it's 2024. The date is March 11. I'm sat here. John Cena is viral, fully butt-ass naked at the Oscars for a publicity stunt. What's happened to Cena, Kevin? I asked this one more time because in a month's time, allegations and lawsuits are going to be out the wazoo. Your channel is going to be going off like never before.
Yeah.
The amount of controversy and drama that's about to go off, maybe Cena's involved in some of it. I don't know. Triple H, Cena, and The Undertaker are as close to Vince McMahon as anyone in the past 15, 20 years. Who knows what may come out? And the fact of the matter is now Cena is, for publicity, wearing a best costume design envelope over his junk, naked at the Oscars. Jimmy Kimmel is looking at his dick. And this is for what? Why is he doing this? What Hollywood entity, what elite has paid him off to do this? Why? Why has this happened? Were they like, oh, the Oscars 2 years ago, we had the Will Smith slapping thing. That everyone was talking about that with Chris Rock. That was big publicity. That was mainstream. One of the biggest moments of the past 5 years. That happened. What can we do now? What can we do? Because we can't just do that again. Cena, take your clothes off. Get out there. And Cena's like, I'll do that, Jack.
Oh my God. I just want to say this before I answer or respond to you. I have another bit of news I'm gonna throw at you, like just organically. I'm gonna throw it at you like you're a dartboard, pal, in just a moment that we need to discuss. So yeah, back to John Cena being nude, pal. That's the real topic at hand here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where, like, if this was another wrestler, if this was anybody else, right, in the wrestling world, it would either be a huge story, a huge scandal. Like if it was Vince McMahon showing up at the Oscars naked, this would make news for a multitude of other reasons. If it was the Undertaker, like if it was the Undertaker, that probably would kill his legacy. Or like, if it was Triple H.
If this is Glenn Jacobs, Kane, he'd lose his job as the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's John Cena, and John Cena's been known with the reputation of being a goofy wrestler. He would do like pretty much anything in the mainstream. He'll go to Kids' Choice Awards, pal. He'll get slimed.
Yeah.
He'll play like stupid parts in a movie, like bad comedy. Really cringe comedy jokes. He'll be in Barbie, which he spoke about. I don't know if you ever saw this, but this made news a few weeks ago, where he was like, "Oh, Margot Robbie actually wanted me to have a major role in the movie, but my agents and everybody around me strongly advised against it." And he said he pushed back and still took the small role anyway, because they were like, look, you're John Cena. You have all this action movie potential. Like, you could be this big action star, like next Tom Cruise. You probably shouldn't be in Barbie. Like, it's probably not a good idea for you to do that. And he was like, nah, Jack. I love Margot Robbie. I love the political message behind this movie. I'm gonna be in there anyway, Jack. And so, yeah, so we got that cameo from John Cena in that movie that you and I also discussed on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, so... I'll say, like, bottom line, because it's John Cena, everybody was just kind of like, oh, it's a funny wrestler guy, haha, he's funny, wrestling's fake, huh? If it was anybody else in the wrestling world,
if Chris Jericho did this, the internet would you wouldn't be able to function.
Yeah,
like the sun wouldn't come up the next morning.
Right.
If Chris Jericho did this,
yes.
If Vince McMahon did this,
well,
if John Laurinaitis did this,
oh my God, well, that'd be really bad.
Kevin. Oh my God, anyway, Cena does it. It's like, look, it's Cena Powell. He's jacked and maybe natural, maybe not natural. Look, an envelope's over his crotch. Like,
right, pal. You ready for the other news I gotta throw at you like a dartboard, pal?
Yeah,
Ready?
what's
I'm
up?
throwing
What's
a dart
happening?
at you, pal. So
Yep.
there's been a minor tweak to WWE.com's roster page.
Oh, yep,
I'm
yep.
sure you're aware of this.
Hmm.
One Brock Lesnar has now made an appearance on WWE.com's roster page. Now, what does this mean? Gunther, most notably, Gunther does not have an opponent to defend his Intercontinental Championship against. He was heavily rumored to defend it against Brock Lesnar. I'm assuming, based on this revelation here, that WWE and whoever the powers that may be, the feds, the cops, pal, the Hartford police, have done their proper investigation into the Brock Lesnar situation, him being named in this lawsuit, and maybe he's cleared his name. Maybe they found, okay, all we have is some text messages here between a consenting woman, and Brock Lesnar. Nothing
Yep.
crazy here,
Yep.
and maybe they're like, hey, this is on Vince McMahon and Laurinaitis and the other executives. Brock has nothing to do with
Yep.
this. Allow him to be in 2K24. Put him on the roster. Put him at WrestleMania, pal. So who knows? What do you make of this?
Now, this is topical because let's say, okay, Brock's now back on the website. So clearly now they're back acknowledging him. There's a gauntlet match literally like today where the winner faces Gunther at WrestleMania. And everyone's saying Chad Gable should win. Now, I figure, given that Brock Lesnar's been involved in this drama, people are going to probably, if Brock Lesnar shows up, probably boo him or give him a more neutral reaction. How about you, I guess, make a smart move? Gable wins the gauntlet match, or so we think. Adam Pearce comes out and goes, actually, Chad, there was one more member in this gauntlet match. Sorry to tell you. Brock Lesnar comes out, destroys him. Brock Lesnar's going to WrestleMania to face Gunther. And people are going to complain, yeah, it's not fair. Cry. That's what wrestling's about. So then you Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, infinitely bigger match. I can show Gunther versus Brock Lesnar to my friends. I'm not showing Gunther versus Chad Gable to my friends. I'm not. So you do Gunther versus Gunther versus Brock at WrestleMania. Brock wins because Gunther's held that IC title, nearly 2 years? Like, let Gunther move on, have some finesse sort of finish. Brock's the IC champion. Bang, done.
Well,
In the space of 2 days, I've got Brock Lesnar. So now he's back on the website, so he exists again. I want him winning a big WrestleMania co-main event IC title match, beating the guy who they've had undefeated for 2 years. Boom, done.
The only thing I want to touch on is that the fact that he said he'd probably get booed. I don't think he will. I don't think he would at any point. I think he's been baby-faced by the company. Like, everybody's like, hey, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, and I don't think anyone aside from, like, the internet community knows about Brock Lesnar's involvement. It wasn't like this huge story where it's like, oh, Brock Lesnar did this and this and this horrible things. Like, it's not really, like, it wasn't really that notable. It was like, oh, Vince is being investigated by the feds, and hey, Brock's involved somehow. He was named in the lawsuit.
But you remember when Vince McMahon was in the midst of these, first coming out mid 2022,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon came out on SmackDown and probably should have gotten the building, pal.
You froze, pal. Can you repeat that again?
Pal, me mentioning Vince McMahon's name froze our recording. Pal, Vince McMahon came out in the midst of these harrowing allegations in mid 2022 at the paralegals, hush money. This literally comes out. Vince announces on SmackDown he's coming out. Vince's music hits. You think you should get the 2015 Roman Reigns Royal Rumble reaction. Whole arena's booing. Riots in the streets, pal. Trash cans and bins being knocked over in Philadelphia. Instead, he got cheered. People were singing his theme song. No chance in hell. You've got puppets. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. And thank you, Vince. Now, yeah.
Well, I mean, at that time, to be fair, nobody really knew how serious the allegations were. Like, in mid 2022, everybody was like, obviously Vince paid off some of these women. Like obviously, bro, that's what powerful men in Hollywood do. Like, now the allegations have come out, and they're just way worse now. The latest batch, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, because when Brock Lesnar comes out tonight in the gauntlet match, when you hear everyone's gonna be standing up recording, cameras out. Oh my god, Brock!
That's aura, pal.
Exactly. That's what. When I was in the Elimination Chamber, I don't care if if Brock would have came out in Perth hypothetically, pal. Oh, allegations, pal. Did he do this? Did he not do this? Urinating, allegedly, whatever. Oh, he got taken off the website, out of the game. If Brock came out of the Elimination Chamber, I'd be up with my phone recording, pal. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Like recording, vibing to the theme song, cheering Brock. Like, that's just what you do, right? The same way the fans in mid-2022, amidst all the allegations of Vince McMahon, were chanting, "No chance in hell, you've got puppets," on SmackDown. Like, whatever.
Well, I don't know. I guess we could close it. We could close this discussion here. I'll make one last point.
Yeah.
When it comes to Brock Lesnar, I mean, the guy has more aura than LA Knight. Like, I just want to say that, speak directly to that guy that made that Facebook post that you read on our Elite Take on part 2 that's coming out on Thursday. I'm speaking to you, pal.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar has more aura than LA Knight. When Brock Lesnar's music hit, if his music hit in St. Petersburg, I would have instinctively just jumped out of my seat and started recording, pal. This is a once-in-a-lifetime alpha male of our species. Some allegations ain't gonna hold him back, pal. He didn't do anything. Clear his name. He's back, baby. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. He's gonna destroy Chad Gable and ruin all those fans' hopes and dreams. I'm here for it.
Yeah, Chad Gable's not the guy to dethrone Gunther. Stop that.
Disgusting. That's disgusting work.
Pat,
disgusting.
That's as bad as people who, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, let's get out of here, pal. All right.
That's all good, pal. Good recording. Peace.